Hello, John Von Hars here once again to talk to you about a new feature for the HVAC Save program and the utility processing. Basically, there's been quite a bit of inquiries and a lot of requests for greater visibility on what is happening at the utility side after you've submitted a report. Okay, so essentially there's two processes happening there, one of which is the auditors. Okay, so they're verifying the test results, they're verifying the eligibility in terms of safe certification, and they're also verifying the AHRI paper ratings. And then there's the rebate administrator. So once a job is approved, then it goes over to the rebate administration process, ultimately resulting in the payout of that rebate. Okay. Up until this point, neither you nor us really had an idea as to what's happening once you've sent in a job for review and approval. So what we've done here is we've created some really simple, somewhat cheap, but simple tracking and collaboration between that utility quality control professional and also you, the contractor, so that you do have visibility on what's going on once it's been submitted, and also have the opportunity to communicate with that utility verifier inside of the job on the software on a go-forward basis. Okay. Now remember, what the verifier is looking to do is simply verify your job. Okay. The program is not asking anything more of you as a contractor than what your manufacturer does, but it is not asking for anything less either. Okay. Rather, it is rewarding consumers who choose contractors that do a thorough job, pay attention to detail, and are able to complete that installation based not only on those manufacturer conditions, but most importantly, based upon the home conditions, the installation conditions that they've been dealt with. Okay. The assumption here, the underlying assumption here, is that the contractor makes a difference. Okay. It's not like an Energy Star refrigerator where you plug it in the wall and you rip the rebate form off the front of the fridge and you send it in. There obviously is a whole system that this equipment needs to be integrated into. And on top of that, unfortunately, there are just different skill levels, and attitudes and behaviors among the contractor community. So again, what we're trying to do here is to install a program, maintain a program, manage a program that rewards consumers who choose contractors who complete a thorough job and are willing to be held accountable to their performance once they sent it in. You can see here I've got this is a landing page, so I've just logged in. I've got 8 customers. This is a demonstration account. I'm going to click here on Tammy Homeowner. Got quite a few jobs under Tammy Homeowner because she tends to be the one that we do most of our testing and late stage development in. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to pick on a job that I know is a Mid-American Energy job here. I'm going to click on this, and I know that this job has already been sent in. Okay. I could also get it from the My Jobs feature, which I'll speak to in a moment. But I know that this job has already been sent in. It's been locked. I've got a confirmation email, so on and so forth. Now I see here that the utility has now, in fact, confirmed that they have received it. Okay, that's step one. Just because you sent it and it's locked doesn't mean that they didn't lose it. Unfortunately, anything's possible when you're doing as many. So what we're doing here is we're enabling them to confirm to you that they received those test results. We're also enabling them to communicate to you if and when they've received everything else. Signed rebate forms, supporting documentation, whether that's as file attachments to this submission or perhaps snail mail, or perhaps fax or whatever, okay? You'll have the opportunity, you can't uncheck these, but you'll have an opportunity to see what's been checked, okay? And then finally, there's approved. Okay, so what this means, if you see the check mark that's been approved, that means that the job's been approved and they've got all the documentation and it's been moved over to the rebate administration folks. That means basically that your customer is going to get their rebate sometime within the next 6 to 8 weeks, I think is the typical turn. You'll also see here that there's a thread, there's some comments. There's quite a few in here. But what this means is this gives both the utility and you the opportunity to have a conversation about this job in here, okay? So let's say, for example, they couldn't find your CFM on the blower chart. They might add a comment in here that says, hey, Mr. Contractor, I can't seem to locate your CFM on the blower chart. Perhaps I'm using the wrong one. Can you please send me the correct one? Or they might say, hey, this is an air conditioning cool job, but I see the date of test is January 5th. You know, obviously you can't test latent BTU performance on January 5th. You know, and then it'll give you a chance to respond back. You could say, for example, hey, you're correct. I grabbed the wrong CFM. I didn't realize it. I need to give you the correct one. You know, basically, so there's a thread of conversations that go back and forth here. All right. As a contractor and also as a utility, you'll get notification emails. So let's say I add a comment here, type something in here, hit save and continue, and it'll record it inside the job. But then you, as the contractor, you're going to get an email notification that's going to say something to the effect of, hey, there's a new comment that's been added to this job. Click here and go look at it and act on it. Okay, so you don't have to sit here and look at this all day long. You'll get the notifications. I just want to show you a little nuance here relative to an Alliant job. So this here is an Alliant job. You'll notice that we only have received test results and approved test results, okay? So Alliant's going to be, this is obviously going to be much better. They're going to be able to tell you they've got the test results. They're going to tell you whether they've approved them, or you can have a conversation down here about what needs to get there. But there's no way in the system to get them to tell you that they've received the other stuff. Okay, the signed rebate form, and the other supporting documentation. That's simply a nuance in how they operate at Alliant. Okay, don't need to get into great details, but you know, there remains the possibility that you could have an approved test results with an Alliant job, and there still may be some sort of paperwork disconnect. Like, for example, you gave your customer the rebate form and they never sent it in. Well, you know, under Mid-American Energy, they could communicate that to you, but under Alliant Energy, they could not. So there might still be a little bit of lack of visibility there under Alliant. Okay. I'm going to go right back to my main page here, my customers. The last thing I want to show you is this new tab, My Jobs. Okay. So your main page is a list of customers. And to get to jobs, you have to click on the customer and then get to the jobs underneath them at that location, right? Well, My Jobs is actually presented a list of jobs, not customers. So these are the actual jobs. These are the customers, address, date of test, technician. You'll notice that we've included some statuses over here, okay? Now there's 4 statuses: new, open, submitted, and closed. The system will only generate 2 of those, all right? So let's say, for example, you just created a job. The system will set the default as new. When you hit the submit button, the system will set the default as submitted, okay? We've given you open and closed, and you can change those statuses based upon your own set of rules, okay? For example, let's say you sold a bunch of air conditioners in October, November, December, January, February, and March, okay? you might want to initiate the job in here, get it started, maybe get the first couple steps done, and then change the status to open. So come April 1st, you can go back and look at all the open jobs, most of which, if not all of which, are going to be air conditioning jobs, so you can begin scheduling that. Closed, you might use that if you find the utility verifier now has approved on those check marks, has approved the job. Then you can set it to closed, not have to worry about it anymore. Up here now, you'll be able to view whichever grouping of jobs that you want. So right now I'm viewing all jobs, but maybe I only want to view the submitted jobs. I'm going to click on that filter, and all I'm going to view is the submitted jobs. All right. Maybe I can go on and click on one and see, well, where's it at here? Has it been approved or not? No, it has not. So I'm just going to leave it. If it has been approved, maybe at that point I change it to closed. This gives you now the opportunity to be able to begin organizing your work based upon the statuses of these jobs. We've done that as well. Okay. So again, I think that's going to be it for today. Hopefully you'll find that this additional visibility with the utility program, and then also this additional organizational capability within the software to be useful to you. Thank you again.